Hello and welcome to the 20th race of the Utica Home Track Series season at Monza. The famed circuit plays host to one of the last races of the schedule. Here is your starting grid. All the R's represent the rookies in the field, and we are getting incredibly close to the end of the season here. We have drivers trying to get this championship. It's going to be down to the wire. I can feel it. A lot of these drivers have a shot at it, and there were quite a few drivers that failed to qualify this race. They were in the Qualifier Series video if you want to see that entire list. But on pole was one of the drivers in that Qualifier Series race. He barely made it in, but Michael Aurelio, for the second week in a row, is going to get the pole for the main event. Michael Aurelio was excited to drive this car for Phoenix, Indiana Motorsport this weekend. Lo, we got some moving in the back to the wreck. We have a wreck at the very start. Once again, this seems to be a common occurrence every year, as Aurelio's going to lose the race lead, but let's take a look at what happened on lap 1. Joshua Michaels in that new car is going to get clipped by Brian Benoit, getting sent way off track. He's going to plow into some trailers and into the fence, and everyone else is just going to pile up on the racetrack trying to avoid it. Here's another angle of that. As you can see, all these cars just getting turned and loose, and a lot of damage on the first lap, a lot of carnage. No cars will go out, but quite a few championship competitors who qualified near the back of the pack would head to pit road and go a couple laps down. As you see, William Duncan was also one of the cars that got punted off the racetrack. But Ray Tacula, car number 13X, is your race leader right now. She was the winner in Sierra a couple of races back, and this being a road course is her normal specialty. Now, RGE Motorsports has had a very difficult season, but things have started to pick up in the later season. She currently leads Justin Benoit and Michael Aurelio. None of the top three have a shot at the championship. They're just here purely for the wins. As Ray Tacula is just hoping to get some more confidence for RGE Motorsports going into 2014. We take a look at one of our debut drivers, Sean Angel, car number 58, the young Canadian, driving in his first ever race in the Utica Home Track Series. He attempted last week for LeGray Racing, but failed to make the show. Now he's in his own ride, and looks like he's in the race in that Canada Dry Dodge. Things are going pretty good for Sean Angel. He currently sits 12th on the grid, so an excellent debut by this driver. We hope to see him in the future and see what he can bring to the table as we go along. At the current moment in the early stages, doing very well, Sean Angel. So now we take a look at Joseph Bryan, car number 80. Now Jerry Guerra failed to qualify, so he couldn't beat Alex Tanker. Joseph Bryan runs mid-pack, isn't beating Alex Tanker now, but has an entire race to do so as he gets a little loose, almost goes off track, but keeps it going. Joseph Bryan's going to have to improve throughout the day if he wants to beat Alex Tanker and try and lock himself in. We take a look now at William Duncan and Brock McMahon as well, who are coming off pit road. They're finally back on track, but they're quite a few laps down, about 4 and 5 laps off the pace. So William Duncan, a huge hit to the championship standings for him, as he was the points leader going into this event. We look near the front, Nick Caps, car number 18, having an awesome run. Nick Caps has been having an on and off season, mostly off as he's failed to make the races, but his race setups are usually pretty good, and he currently sits in the top 5 right now. Nick Caps is basically trying to prove that he can be a contender next season if given the chance. Now, they announced next season that there will be no locked-in contention, so he's hoping that this can help him make more races and do better in the point standings. So Nick Caps running the best of the 3 Caps brothers and on track at the moment. Matt Evans, car number 4. Father Neil Evans pulled the ride out of the race so they could focus more effort into this number 4 machine, which is running for a championship. That seems to be working as he sits in 6th place on track, right behind former teammate Tyler Benoit, and just ahead of road racing ace Connor Germain. Matt Evans has proven that he can be good at these road courses after a lot of hefty practice. And with Oshter Reichring and a track he's won at, Myrtle Beach, coming up, Matt Evans feels very confident going into the championship. He also has the advantage of basically every championship competitor except him is currently running in the back of the pack. Jeffery Finguy also wins slightly on this. He is a couple of positions back from William Duncan. He sits about mid-pack right now, but That's currently enough that he would be able to catch up and lower that gap between he and the lead cars that was gotten last race. And wait a second, no, he's going to get into Joseph Bryant. And he and Joseph Bryant go off the racetrack. That's going to hurt both of their runs today, and what a shame for both of them. They would have to go to pit road. Dylan Young, car number 50, currently having a great run, sitting in 8th position. Now, Dylan Young was worried in the past couple of events of falling out of the top 35. This race, he doesn't seem to have to worry as much, as he's running very well, and this could put enough of a gap that he won't have to worry as heavily about falling out of locked-in contention. But it's still possible, and he has to do well at the Österreichring in Myrtle Beach if he wants to keep that top 35 spot. Another incident, lap 16. Okuyamadea, a new paint scheme, running near the back of the pack. He's going to hit into the back of David Yankee, get loose, and that car is going to end up in the gravel trap. The Street Fighter Mega Man Dodge is not going to be able to win this battle against the sand. We take a look now at Justin Benoit, car number 22. He sits in 2nd place, and it's been a good day for Benoit Motorsports, barring Brian Benoit, who got into that wreck early on. But Tyler and Justin up near the front. Justin Benoit is one of those drivers trying to keep himself locked in, and I think a run like this will be able to do it. Maybe not immediately, but he still has a lot of momentum working its way into the next couple of races. Tyler Benoit is up there, and he's trying to go for a championship. Incident lap 19. The horrible luck of John Cittadino's season continues as he gets loose off his teammate and is going to wreck out from 10th into the gravel trap. He's going to try and keep it going, but you're going to see in a second, all these spots he's going to lose on the racetrack as Alex Tanker, Dustin Caps, Zachary Robinson, Connor Atwood, Brian Valentine, Seth Cole, Brandon Bain, and the lap car Joshua Michaels go past. Pit stops would start on lap 20 with the back markers, Brian Benoit and others. Then the rest of the cars would pit 1 lap later as you see them all heading down pit road in a row. We had a close call with one of the back markers coming up pit road. Brock McMahon, who was 5 laps off the pace, going to get into the back of Trek Tugger, almost turns him around, but fortunately both of them are going to keep it going. Brock McMahon is still in last place, 5 laps off the pace. Horrible pit stops for Nick Caps and Michael Aurelio. Nick Caps on their pit stop, they dropped the jack, and Michael Aurelio, he stalled on pit road. They had a difficulty firing it back up. They fall all the way back to 34th and 35th. A huge disappointment for both of these drivers who were hoping to have exceptionally good days today to prove themselves for next season. But sadly, the pit road errors made are going to really cripple them in today's event. We take a look now, going at car number 60, Trek Togger, who sits in 8th place. He's been having a string of really good runs here late in the season, doing well at the Batista Bowl, and now doing well here today in the top 10, despite that contact from Brock McMahon. Now, Trek Togger is hoping that he can at least finish good at the Österreichring and Myrtle Beach and maybe get him enough momentum going into next season that he can maybe pick off a couple of good finishes, maybe even his first career win. We had an incident on lap 25 of 31. Brian Valentine and Seth Cole had really good runs. Zachary Robinson's just not going to break. Runs straight into the back of Cole and Valentine. They were running inside the top 15. They're going to fall out, and that was a shame for both of them. Valentine's going for a championship. Seth Cole was looking for a confidence booster. As you see, Ray Tacky, though, the race leader, has come across lap traffic in the form of Okuyamadea. Now, passing this weekend has been very difficult, and only certain places on track hasn't been done. So maybe this lap car will slow her up. Incident lap 27. David Yankees battling with Andreas Allen, and looks like Valentine. Oh man, Yankees gonna clobber into the wall. Seth Cole's involved. Andreas Allen's involved. I see a couple other drivers trying to avoid it. More cars seem to be coming in and starting to pile on. Julian Kenneth Jr. Alex DeMarco gets a piece of it. He gets hit by Andrew Robinson. Maria Camiso hard contact sends both of those cars over. And look at this. Colin Bartell, another heavy hit. And Alex DeMarco goes barrel rolling down the track. Heavy car. Let's go on board with car number 51. See what he saw. He gets turned going into the straightaway by Julian Kenneth Jr. He's sideways. Andrew Robinson piles in. Then you see Maria Camiso. That's going to send Andrew Robinson back into him. Flip the car over. The car's on through. Gets hit by Colin Bartell. And look at this flip. Wild ride for Alex DeMarco. This wreck would send about 5 cars out of the race, DeMarco included. In the later stages of the race, Alex Tanker has been kind of a target for a lot of drivers. He's the driver they need to beat for 35th. He currently sits in 10th place, so he doesn't have to worry about that as Guerra's not in the race, Brian's doing poorly, and Michaels is doing poorly. So it looks like Alex Tanker lives to race another day, and this time he'll be locked in for the Österreichring. But no one was able to beat Ray Takita. Car number 13X will win her second career Utica Home Track Series race and give RGE Motorsports their second career Utica Home Track Series victory as well. Congratulations to the team and the driver getting 2 wins in the late season. Unfortunately, she will not be able to win the championship, but she has a chance at the Rookie of the Year award. But let's take a look at the final race results for today's event. Ray Takita was your winner and the Rookie of the Race, gets 5 bonus points in the Rookie of the Year standings. Justin Benoit was in second, Tyler Benoit third, Matt Evans fourth, Dylan Young rounds out the top 5. An impressive run for Sean Angel in sixth, Nicholas Guerra is seventh, Trek Togger eighth, Jamie Murphy ninth, and Alex Tanker rounds out the top 10. Great run by Dustin Caps. Connor Atwood, John Sadino gains a lot of spots. Megan Curley was the biggest mover of the day. Bob Sadino, Brandon Bain, Joseph Bryant, Andreas Allen, Dom Caps, Nick Pericles rounds out that top 20. Then we have Brenda Pericles, Eris Schock, Seth Cole, Julian Kendall-Bless Jr., Connor Germain, Nick Caps, Michael Aurelio, who is going to work up a little bit, but disappointing days for the both of them. Zachary Robinson, Jeffrey Finguy, Sam Young, Oku Yamadea was the last car on the lead lap. Then Valentine, Camiso, Benoit, Russell Curry went out despite having a good run all day. Michelson, Duncan were 4 laps off the pace. Yankee, DeMarco, Robinson, and Bartell were all out of the race. McMahon wasn't able to catch up to them. He was 5 laps off the pace and in last place. Now let's take a look at the championship standings to see who still has a chance at the championship. William Duncan is currently your points leader, but only 2 points over Matt Evans, who had a great finish. Then there's Dom Caps, Brian Valentine, Jeffrey Finguy rounding out that top 5. Then we have Julian Kendall-Bless Jr., Bob Sadino, Brock McMahon's going to plummet in the points. Tyler Benoit moves up to 9th, Russell Curry down to 10th. Then we have Nicholas Guerra, Maria Camiso, Brandon Bain, Megan Curley, David Yankee, and those are the only drivers that can win the championship. 16th back are mathematically ineligible. There's a shame for Caps and Murphy, who had such good runs this weekend. Eris Schock, Zachary Robinson, Ray Takita, the winner is in 20th in points. Then there's Colin Bartell, who's really dropped in points. John Sadino, Alex DeMarco, Neil Evans, and Samantha Yankee, both of which weren't here this weekend. Andreas Allen, Trek Togger, Michelle Sadino, Andrew Robinson, Seth Cole. They do not need to worry about falling out of locked-in contention. Benoit, Young, Cortez, Aurelio, and Tanker all have a shot to fall out of the top 35. And now let's take a look at the drivers that could knock them out. These drivers are the drivers that are mathematically eligible to lock themselves in. Joseph Bryan is still a little bit out. Jerry Guerra, who didn't get any points this weekend. Kevin Ulrich is no longer driving. Willie Decker, Joshua Michaels, Jeff Evans, who no longer drives, and Vladimir Petrov. Everyone else, 43rd and back, cannot lock themselves into the top 35. They'll have to race their way in for Bristol next season. Finally, let's take a look at the Rookie of the Year standings. William Duncan is your leader, 3 points over Dom Caps. And Julian Kendall-Bless Jr., Eris Schock, Ray Takita, who's worked their way up in points. Nicholas Guerra, Dustin Caps, Zachary Robinson, Alex DeMarco, and Colin Bartell falling down to 10th. That is your top 10, the Rookie of the Year standings. And next up, we will be going to the Österreichring. Last year, it really affected the championship. Can it do it this year? There's only one way to find out. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching.